As you know, my name is Marianne Karth. My daughters, AnnaLeah and Mary, died due to rear underride. Today, I'll talk about missed opportunities to prevent side underride fatalities. But before I do that, I want to take a moment to reflect on the irreversible impact of these missed opportunities. Yesterday, I looked at the calendar and realized that this year was going to be a year where the anniversary of our crash and all the difficult days that followed will be on the exact day of the week when they occurred in 2013. May 4th will again be a Saturday. That unleashed many memories. That spring, Mary had modeled her sister Rebecca's wedding dress as I sewed it. AnnaLeah had finished a little bride's dress out of the material scraps to give to her niece. As May began, Mary, who had never had a hair in her life, toyed with the idea of surprising her siblings by getting her hair cut before the wedding. Instead, it will be 11 years ago next week that she watched YouTube videos and picked a hairstyle, a Dutch flower braid. We practiced it in preparation for the wedding on May 11th. Both girls were excited about all that was to come. This photo shows the last time all 9 siblings got together 2 years earlier. Instead of the anticipated joyous gathering with them all coming together again for 4 college graduations and a wedding in Texas, 7 siblings were left to move ahead as best they could with their lives, brokenhearted. Every underride crash has a story. Not one of the victims start out on their journey expecting to never make it home because of a collision with the truck, which could have been made more survivable. That's what makes missed opportunities to improve underride protection all the more frustrating and disturbing. Sylvia and Sarah were cyclists who died under the side of trucks, part of a large group of underride victims, pedestrians, cyclists, and motorcyclists, vulnerable road users left out of the ARM. There have been many missed opportunities for action to prevent side underride fatalities, starting with DOT's intention in 1969 to add underride protection to the sides of large trucks. I'm going to discuss 2 recent ones. Let's not make ACUP the third. The first missed opportunity I'll mention is the NTSB safety recommendations issued to NHTSA in April 2014. The NTSB concluded that passenger vehicle occupant deaths and injuries resulting from side underride collisions with tractor trailers could be reduced by side underride protection systems. In 2023, the NTSB commented on the 2023 Side Impact Guard ANPRM, expressing concern that the potential benefits of side underride guards were underestimated, as Eric has mentioned. They called for NHTSA to complete a more comprehensive and systematic cost-benefit analysis. The TTMA's drafted Side Impact Guard recommended practice is the second one. Even for a draft, so much engineering knowledge went into its development. It was never adopted. We conclude.
This looks like it's from our website, but
no,
it's not.
Okay, I'll verify. That's your website, and I was merely searching for it. Okay.
But there's that picture below is nothing to do with our website.
No, it's not. Thank you for verifying. That's just an image.
There is no such document that you're talking about.
You're correct. Sorry. As I said, it was never published, and I'm sorry if there was any confusion about that. That's merely an image of a side guard.
It was never developed.
Correct. Okay. So from we conclude from what John just said to us that it was never developed, and I just make the assumption that they're not going to do it on their own. At least they have not thus far. We learned from the IIHS analysis of the ANPRM that in total, we estimate a side underride guard rule would save at least 10 times the lives estimated by NHTSA, thereby making it cost effective, unquote. The ANPRM was a fatally flawed example of government rulemaking. Its conclusion previously wrong, excluding 90% of preventable underride deaths. NHTSA should withdraw the 2023 Side Impact Guard ANPRM. Recommendation 2, NHTSA should complete a new Side Impact Guard cost-benefit analysis and rulemaking that counts previously omitted underride victim categories, including pedestrians, bicyclists, and motorcyclists. Now I want you to hear from another mom, Lois Durso. Her daughter, Royce D., died under the side of a tractor trailer in November 2004, a death which, by the way, was not recorded in FARS as an underride. Nothing has changed since Roya died.
We know that underride kills, and people that go under, either they're catastrophically injured or they don't survive their injuries. And so that's why it's so important that there's protection around tractor trailers, because it is a 50-year-old problem. And DOT, they've known about it for more than 50 years. And
The driver of Roya's car lost control in icy, snowy road conditions. The car went under the side of a trailer, was dragged along the highway, and then spun out into a guardrail. The trailer's tire came into Roya's survival space. Her hair was found on the tire. The driver of her car walked away. Roya did not survive. It wasn't the crash that killed her, it was the underride. This video is an animation of what might have happened if there had been a side guard.
This animation shows what could have happened if the truck Roya Sadiq crashed into had side guard.
Another side underride crash seen in the oncoming traffic in the next video was caught on camera in Iowa on February 29th of this year. A crash scenario hauntingly similar to Roya's 20 years earlier. As in Roya's crash, the driver walked away, but there was no passenger, thus no fatality, and will not be recorded in FARs as an underride crash. Shouldn't near misses like this one impact the cost-benefit analysis? And that's it. I will do the front underride later.
Does anyone have any questions for Marianne? Jennifer?
This is not so much a question as it is a statement. When I'm listening to this going back and forth about nitpicking and finding every little situation that this doesn't work, I want to remind everybody that our purpose is to provide advice and recommendations to the Secretary on safety regulations to reduce underride crashes and fatalities related to underride crashes. It is a waste of our time to sit here and nitpick every little situation where something else could happen. It doesn't say it has to stop all underride, it's to reduce. And I think it's a waste of time to keep hearing this over and over again. Thank you.
So did I take up the 10 minutes? I don't think it did. So I think I have time just to show this crash test from August of 2023. Aaron, I don't remember the speed that it was at, but let me see here.
Wasn't this previously presented by Aaron?
This is behind the rear axle. Okay, that's just wanted to show that.
Okay, any more questions? Jennifer, your hand is still up.
I'm sorry, I don't know that my hand's still up.
Okay. Any more questions? Doug?
Is the manufacturer here with that that makes that underride that's pictured? Is he online with us?
Are you talking about the one I just showed?
Yes.
Yes, that.
How long does it take to disassemble that underride to change a tire on that trailer?
It's 2 winch ratchets at the rear. And so you'd have to use a winch bar to loosen them. There's also a clamping plate that has 3 bolts or 4 bolts to squeeze the webbing before it goes through the winch ratchets. But I'm going to be putting on the version of ratchets that accepts an impact gun to make it even easier. But I'd say, if you have the tools, probably 2 to 5 minutes.
So a blown out tire can tear that strap off, and to change that tire, you'd have to, if it's not torn off, you'd have to unbolt all that. Do you have a time frame on that?
Didn't you just say 2 to 5 minutes, Aaron, to undo it?
Yeah, I'll shoot a video about taking it off and putting it back on, but it can be done quickly. And I'm also hoping to do some testing.
Total replacement versus surface.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Time-wise versus total replacement versus just maintenance to do brakes or tires or.
Yeah, so total replacement time should be about 10 minutes because basically you have to have replacement webbing. But, if you had an accident or a blowout that did rupture field, you would just go without the webbing, you'd pull it off, and that way you can keep on driving safely. But to replace it, you simply pull the webbing forward and thread it through the little hoops. And then go back around to the back and then tighten it down.
Doug,
So-
certainly, hang on a second,
It's
Doug.
on the side of the road getting service where accidents happen with people hitting things parked on the side of the road. I see an increase there. Thank you.
Doug, certainly you're not suggesting that somebody's use of time of about 10 minutes isn't worth even a life.
It's that much more time at the side of the road. They'll have more accidents of people hitting things on the shoulder, which happens a lot more often than side underrides. A lot more.
That's where the rear underride would come in.